right, fight fans, here we go. Now in the cage, 3 rounds of mixed martial arts in the flyweight division, presented to you by SparStar Promotions. This bout is sponsored in part by CPI Stem Cells. Once again, our referee in charge of this bout, Chris the Crippler Lieben. And now, introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing gray trunks rimmed in black. He is training out of Tillis BJJ in Whittier by way of South Whittier. He weighed in 125 pounds. His record, 1 win, 1 loss. With that win coming by way of stoppage, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jonathan the Voodoo Chode Esparza. His opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing black trunks. He is training out of Doom Squad in Costa Mesa by way of Indio, California. He weighed in 125 pounds. His record, 1 win, 1 loss. With that win coming by way of stoppage, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Gary, the anti-hero, Hernandez! All right, fans, here we go. 3 rounds of mixed martial arts in the flyweight division.
All right, coming up right now, Jonathan Esparza versus Gary, the anti-hero Hernandez. Ooh. Oh, man.
Good counter punches by Esparza. Esparza is going to work right away.
Esparza very confident with his hands. Already making kind of a statement. Ooh, connecting beautifully right then and there. Again. Just
and he just
begging,
wants more, too.
Begging Hernandez to try.
If the look on his face during his walkout wasn't any indicator, his hands are also telling the same story, connecting over and over again. Hernandez is really taking some punishment.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to see what kind of game this is doing, because if anything, it's actually making Gary choose his spots a little bit more rather than getting countered on that. So I think he kind of spent a few seconds trying to chase after him and said, no, I think this is what he wants. I think he's trying to get under my skin.
Yeah, and Esparza now with, I think he has double unders.
He has 1 under right now. He's going to pummel back for the other one while using it as a setup to maybe get another knee into the midsection here.
Yep. He had good head placement, but Hernandez at least used some punches
there
to
we
get
go.
better head placement. And nicely done from
Wow.
Hernandez.
Oh, for a split second,
Esparza,
Esparza had the back for a split second, did lose it. That was a really interesting transition because you were kind of gifted it. The hard part was the positioning of it didn't let you get the hooks in to really flatten them out. So instead, we're back up against the cage. However, a very winning round thus far in from Esparza.
Yeah, solid round from Esparza. Esparza did a really great job with that takedown, but Hernandez also doing a good job getting out the back door there and standing up on it, not letting him be controlled. But, I mean, Esparza is definitely in the driver's seat in this round, number 1.
Nice.
As it stands.
You know what I liked in that last part of the exchange was Esparza was utilizing his head pressure against that cage. Like, he was snaking the head to make sure he was always connected at a very, very bad spot for Hernandez, to make sure that no matter how much he tried to squirm out of it, Esparza just kept him pressed up against the cage. Excellent work there.
Yeah, Esparza really did have good head placement. That's the one thing, or one of the things that I really like that Hernandez did well in that round, is that he uses some punches to take away some of that very good head position from Esparza. Esparza forced to move to less superior head positioning. And so nicely done from Hernandez, but there was only a couple of moments there where Hernandez did anything, or had the chance to do anything, that you could say was beneficial, because Esparza was all over him, and we'll see if he can keep that pace going into round number 2.
I mean, the interesting thing about Esparza is he seems to be drawing in Gary So I wonder if he'll be able to do that in the second round, or if now that Gary's had some time to kind of get some fight experience with him and to say, maybe not. Maybe I don't get sucked into your game.
Oh, and right away.
Yeah.
Thrown a little wild, but connecting a lot.
Nice.
Hernandez might have just needed a round to find his range because they're connecting with that left. Misses with the right. Esparza uses that to close the distance.
I mean, sometimes there's a value in slowing down your opponent, in just making sure they play your game instead. If you're able to reverse the equation, but again, ooh, nice work there by Esparza. Excellent read.
Yeah, good. It was a good body kick from Hernandez, but Esparza just fired back right afterwards.
So there's 1:15 left in this round. And what you're going to see here, though, I think just utilizing a lot of variance in how he's now starting to track. Because before, Esparza was trying to just connect with the 1-2 on the face, but he's been kind of varying that up. Now we're starting to see some leg kicks in there to recognize maybe if he's going to start pushing ahead, he wants to keep that distance. Reads it beautifully off of some strikes there. And now Esparza's pushing him up against the cage with a nice knee in.
Yep, switches to a head inside single. Decides to let go of that. No, he's got the hands connected again. Right, that leg probably going to look to pull Hernandez off the cage. No, just disconnects the hands. Interesting.
I mean, you know, you see that as an opportunity sometimes to get a high crotch, but that means that you have to duck down, and you don't always necessarily want to do that here. You have some good pressure.
Good punches.
Ooh,
although
nice.
eats a knee, Hernandez. But Hernandez threw some good punches there, and I like the way he used that overhook and fed Esparza's hand to his overhook hand.
Oh, good counter there by Gary. That's going to definitely slow down Esparza.
Yeah, I would love to see Gary. You can't knee him to the head, so you gotta pull him.
I think that was done with the efficiency of pointing out to the ref. See, I'm not kneeing him in the head. Watch me knee him in the stomach, sir. The stomach.
Yes, don't want to get DQ'd in that for amateur MMA. I believe the rule is something like you have to have 10 fights between the two of you, and then you can agree to knees in the head if neither person is on the ground. Yeah, these guys do not have that many fights, so would be a foul.
I'm glad we play by Queensberry rules on occasion here. If both gentlemen agree to fisticuffs on the 6th day of May, they may return. I mean, Tillis has worked. Tillis wants to see a knockout here. And meanwhile, Gary's coaches are saying, hey, you're doing some good work.
He is, and the way that Gary is now starting to deal with some of this pressure from Esparza is actually changing the way Esparza is attacking. So that's a small victory in and of itself. Esparza still should be in the driver's seat here, but Gary's now starting to find his range, starting to really start to feel more comfortable and get his game going.
Absolutely.
Ooh, good jab from Esparza. Gary,
Yep, I think the game plan is set up your strikes, go for the takedown again. And I think the issue is Gary's seen it a couple times. And the last time when he had that guillotine to kind of stop it out, it didn't finish him off, but it definitely made him respect that kind of takedown defense, which was, hey, man, you're not going to take me down the way you did before.
Yeah, it was interesting to see. Gary had a good chance to snap down Esparza, but he chose not to. He wants to keep it standing. He wants to maybe potentially look for the knockout. I mean, I would assume he's going to have to knock Esparza out if he wants to win this fight on the feet, because he should be down 2-0.
I mean, he is getting Esparza to miss a few more of these shots, though.
Yeah, and he's connecting more and more as the fight goes on. But he's only got 1 minute left to go, so he's got to make something happen.
Oh, now it's reversal of that very first round. Now Gary seems to be signaling to Esparza, you bring this fight back to me now.
Yeah, well, Esparza clearly is a fast starter, and Hernandez might be a slow starter. So Hernandez starting to really feel himself here.
Yeah.
And Esparza maybe waning a little bit, but 40 seconds left to go. He might have done enough.
So this is the nice part. We talked a little bit about the leg strikes in that second round. They have been what has been building up the significant strike here for Esparza in these moments where, as he's backpedaling, he is getting a good leg strike here and there, but now we're talking about right back to the hands.
Yep, 2 good lefts from Hernandez, and then Esparza answered back with 2 of his own shots. And this one's going to go the distance.
Well, congratulations to both these young men. I mean, it was an interesting fight in that, you kind of felt it was starting a certain way with Esparza right out the gate, hot. Then all of a sudden, you see Gary start to warm up a little bit himself. He was like, hey, I'm going to get my respect in here too. And I felt like in that 3rd round, Gary had probably his best round performance. It's an interesting one. You were mentioning that you felt like Esparza did enough potentially in the first 2 rounds where it could be something where he ended up getting out the win just by the performances of round 1 and 2. But I think Gary, there's something to be said, especially now if you start to figure this. If this is how they start as amateurs, I do wonder how both of them perform with the 5-minute round.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about this is like, this is an amateur fight. And that's just, it's great to see because the level that was displayed here did not indicate that it was an amateur fight whatsoever. So both of these guys, I think, could do very well moving into the professional realm.
No, they definitely had both moments to shine. And I think what's interesting is you don't always get to see this in a fight where another fighter looks at one and says, bring your fight. Then, round 3, reversal of fortune, looks at him and says, well, now you're tired, buddy. You bring the fight. And that doesn't always happen.
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, as far as I would think would have to be the one that takes this fight. But it's not like Hernandez got blown out of the water here, or it wasn't just completely one-sided. Hernandez was doing great stuff and seemed to really get his game going as the fight went on. So just a good match, and these guys are just both very skilled, and they made great adjustments too.
It appears the judging decision might be lost in the mail. So we await for official word here shortly. But for a fight like that, it does make you start to wonder again what exactly we're going to see as the result of it. And now we're getting to a point where, as we're waiting for the judges to render their score in, the crowd is responding very positively to this fight, as they should. You get to see 2 new individuals, but you don't just get to see 2 new individuals. Here at SparStar, we have all amateur fighters who are all on their way up to the next big thing. So you always want to tune in here with us. We hope that you subscribe. We hope that you like the content that you see here. And if you do, continue to support this organization so that we can support
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3
rounds.
rounds of action, once again, let's give both fighters a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. We have a split decision. Judge at cage side, Don Howard scores the bout 29-28 in favor of Hernandez. Judge at cage side, Felicia O scores the bout 29-28 in favor of Esparza. And judge at cage side, Carlos Schaud scores the bout 29-28 in favor of our winner by split decision, the blue corner, Jonathan, the Voodoo Child, Esparza!
What a great fight. Jonathan Esparza, how you feeling, brother?
Carmen's Casino, what the fuck is up? Are you not entertained? I'm just kidding, man. I've been dreaming about this every day. I had dreams about Gary beating me, man. He hits hard as fuck. He's a tough opponent. I've been in the people who know me at Tillis Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Shout out Tillis Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, shout out Mata Leon. Noah Tillis, he's been a father figure for me since I was 17 years old. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So thank you guys all. Thank you, Commerce Casino. Thank you, SparStar. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Heather. And shout out to my girlfriend. It was her birthday. I didn't get to celebrate with her, and now I get to. Sorry, I said a lot of shit.
It's all good. Fight fans, make some noise for Jonathan Esparza!
Did he just say it's his girlfriend's birthday? Ruh-roh. I wonder how that conversation went.
Trying to give Tillis there a nice little smooch.
You know, listen, good on him. He just won.